Under the neon lights of Las Vegas, a broken man lay on the cold pavement, his dreams buried under lost bets and shattered hope. But fate had other plans. What if the same streets that stole everything from him gave it all back? Under the flickering neon lights of Las Vegas, Ryan Carter lay on the cold pavement, staring up at the vast empty sky. Once, he had walked these streets with confidence, believing he was destined for greatness. He had always been drawn to the allure of quick money, convinced that his gambling skills would make him rich. He had won big before, enough to make him feel invincible, but the losses had always followed, each one heavier than the last. He lost his savings, his car, his home, and eventually, his dignity. The city had swallowed him whole, leaving him with nothing but regret and memories of a life that once held promise. His nights were spent under the bright casino lights that had once welcomed him, now mocking him as he sat in their shadows. The cold pavement was his bed, the discarded scraps of tourists his only source of food. He had become invisible to the world, just another homeless man lost in the city of broken dreams. Each day was the same. He woke up stiff and aching, watching people rush past him without a second glance. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, and desperation pushed him to search through garbage bins, looking for something, anything, that could keep him alive. The cycle was endless. The weight of his failures pressed down on him, a reminder that he had once had it all and lost it because he had chased the illusion of luck. One evening, as he sat outside a high-end casino, watching well-dressed gamblers step in with excitement and leave with defeat in their eyes, something happened that would change everything. A man, older but composed, stopped in front of him and placed a crisp $100 bill into his hands before walking away without a word. The gesture left him frozen, staring at the money, unsure of what to do. For the first time in a long time, he had a choice. He could spend the money on food, rent a room for the night, and escape the streets temporarily, or he could take one last shot at rebuilding himself. The fear of failure gripped him, but something deep inside pushed him forward. With a steadying breath, he stood up and walked into the casino. The atmosphere was familiar, the sounds of cards shuffling, slot machines ringing, and people whispering in excitement. He sat at a blackjack table, placing the $100 bill down as his starting bet. This time, he wasn't reckless. He played cautiously, not chasing emotions, but relying on the knowledge he had gathered over years of gambling. His $100 turned into $500, then $1,000. He lost some, won some, but he didn't let the highs or lows control him. Hours passed, and his small fortune grew into something substantial. By sunrise, he walked out with $50,000 in his pocket. This time, he didn't make the same mistake. He found a small motel, took a shower, bought clean clothes, and sat down with a notepad and pen. He made a plan, something he had never done before. Instead of gambling his money away, he researched investments, learning about stocks, real estate, and business strategies. He read books, watched tutorials, and absorbed as much knowledge as he could. He used part of his winnings to buy a small apartment, ensuring he would never have to sleep on the streets again. The rest he invested wisely, avoiding the temptation to chase quick wealth. He worked tirelessly, waking up early, networking with people, and making calculated moves. His past had taught him that nothing was permanent unless he built something with real value. Months passed, and his efforts paid off. His investments grew, and opportunities opened up before him. He started flipping houses, turning broken properties into profitable ventures. His money doubled, then tripled. His name began to carry weight in real estate circles. He no longer relied on luck. He relied on strategy and patience. A year later, Ryan was no longer the man who slept on the streets. He was a successful entrepreneur, a man who had clawed his way out of the pit he had once fallen into. He had built something real, something that couldn't be lost overnight. His success wasn't built on the spin of a wheel or the draw of a card. It was built on discipline, resilience, and the ability to learn from his past. Despite his success, he never forgot where he came from. He returned to the same streets where he had once struggled, looking for others who had lost their way. He offered them opportunities, not just handouts. He helped them find jobs, mentored them, and showed them that there was a way out. His life had come full circle. The same city that had taken everything from him had also given him a second chance. But the truth was, the city had never been the problem. He had been. Once he changed his mindset, everything else followed. Ryan Carter's story wasn't about luck. It wasn't about a miraculous win or a random act of generosity. It was about choices. He had been given one final opportunity, and he had taken it. He had learned that while luck can change in an instant, discipline and determination could shape a lifetime. No matter how far he had fallen, he had proven that with the right mindset, anyone could rise again.